welcome back to another episode of the Otaku Crew podcast. It's your boy, Wiseman Lee as host, and thank you so much for tuning in today's episode. We're on episode 35, and so I want to remind everyone that we are on most podcast platforms, Anchor, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and many more podcasts. You can Spotify, of course. If you're listening to us there, you can continue following us on our episodes on those podcast platforms. And we are also on YouTube, where the channel is called the Otaku Crew. If you found us on YouTube, please give us a subscribe and like our videos too if you support our content. We're also on Rumble too, but I'm not quite sure if we've been uploading any episodes there too. We need to get back on that.
You don't say!
Allow me to introduce our panelists. Today we got our anime resident expert, Leifon, who he thinks he's the expert, but I was clown on him. What's up, Leifon?
I'm here. That's enough, man. Just be happy.
Alright, man. I can't wait to hear you drop some knowledge on us. And then we also got Tensa joining us.
Yo,
What's up, man?
You know how it is.
Today we're going to be reviewing SpyXFamily Season 2. I'm not sure if Season 2, this is like a shortened season or if it's just the first part, but we're just going to review episodes 1 to, 13 that dropped of Season 2. No introduction to give because we've already done review of SpyXFamily in the past, so we can just get into it, guys. So... what does everyone think about this season? Let's get into it.
Tensa, how far did you actually get?
Okay, Tensa, yeah, please tell me you at least saw a bit of it. No.
I didn't see all of it, but I'm at least at episode 9.
Okay, you watched most of it.
Oh, and the later episodes they're great. They're great. You don't understand.
How would you know?
I've watched them. Like I said, all the way to 9. I don't mean all the way to 12 yet. Like so far, where we are, it's starting to get spicy. If you know what I mean.
What about you, Leifon?
Okay, so I watched the whole thing. I was sort of watching week by week as it came out, and while there were moments where I was questioning where this particular season was going, I think it was a good break from the storyline. Now I know a lot of people are gonna either be on the fence when I say that. Like some people want the story to actually continue. Now I'm not basing my decision off the manga. I haven't read it, but just from watching the anime itself, it felt refreshing to sort of see the story expand on our other characters, like Bond's relationship with the family, Damien Desmond, how he is, like he feels out of place because he has a status to meet, sort of being the son of a politician, and Your Briar, how she's going through everything, like the facade with the family, but realizing just how crucial that facade has been. It's like not something she can exactly take for granted anymore. She's actually at the thick of it, and this realization she sees in the later episodes, of course, which Tensa hasn't seen. Just gonna say that.
Spoilers. Spoilers.
I've actually seen it. Don't worry, I've seen it.
Oh, okay, then you're good. I would definitely say this. Yeah, this season was more your centric, I guess, right? Because she has the big arc with the assassin boat cruise arc, and so you get more of a dive into her psyche, and so she has this like identity crisis where she's thinking like, oh, what am I doing this for? This kind of like work and everything, like she gets confused on that aspect, but then later on, and when she gets through her mission and everything, she's like, yeah, I'm doing this for my fake family, for my brother Yuri, and for ultimately the peace of the world.
It's the fact that that's precisely exactly where I am.
That's good. That's it. Perfect. And then the rest of the season, it's just like small filler episodes here and there.
Okay.
I kind of forgot what the early on episodes were at the beginning of season 2, but I just remember
Pastry and Bond's precognition ability, and like about how and those little shenanigans.
Yeah, that's it. So the rest of the episodes were just like little shenanigans, and I'm like, it's not advancing the story. My one gripe now for season 2 is that we're not getting back to the main mission. Like, how many stellar stars does Anya still have? It's just one, no? And I'm like, we're already season 2. Like, can we get a move on
Yes.
and like progression to where we want to be? Like, otherwise, Honestly, man, after watching this season, I was kind of like, okay, I'm kind of disappointed. And if next season, if they don't get back to the main story, the main plot, I feel like I might just abandon the show. Like as much as I like it with the silliness and the what's it called,
That was the plot of the show.
wholeheartedness and of all behind it, it's like it's kind of starting to get a bit stale now.
I understand. Like unfortunately, the point of the show is technically very much slice of life ish.
Yeah.
But I understand that. I understand that you feel like we're moving in the mud with that show because I like the character expansion on your first and foremost. That's precisely why I'm like, okay, this is getting fun. But at the very same time, there was something that I was waiting for that didn't happen yet. So I'm like, and I feel like that's where they're seemingly going. Because if you look at the shenanigans, they did in a certain order. Like we're gonna do Anya shenanigans, Damien shenanigans, because basically that's like one section, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then they're doing a your centric, and this is just this becomes completely serious too.
Well, I don't mind that Yor gets more of the spotlight in this season because throughout the
no.
first season she's there, but she's kind of sidelined. She's kind of like just there. Yeah.
I'm happy that she's taking it to begin with, because the way that Twilight or Lloyd, if you want, all is supposed to act is like intel spy. So of course, like he's supposed to be the guy in the background doing something.
No, if anything, he was on vacation this entire season. He's like, yeah, I'm just taking a back seat. You guys can carry on the show for me.
And the funny part is like he's forced to be put on vacation too.
What a waste of time.
Yeah,
like,
but at the same time, he's thinking like, oh, it was for the mission, And
Yeah,
in the end,
yeah,
I
yeah,
need to get close to my family just so we could keep going.
I don't know how he mental gymnastics his way into that one. Taking a vacation is like, and I was like, why?
It's for the greater good of the Operation Strix, man. Come on. For Anya.
But I do agree that
the funny thing is the shenanigans. Well, sorry to cut you off. The funny thing is the shenanigans between Anya and Lloyd while on vacation.
That was great.
Every attempt he did, he was always second guessing himself. It's like, shit, what do I do? How do I fix this?
Oh, that was fun because I was like, trying to be a good father.
This video is sponsored by NordVPN. VPN stands for Virtual Private Network. It's a tool that encrypts your internet traffic and hides your IP and virtual location. You might be asking yourself, why do I need this? Well, you like watching anime, right? Or shopping online? Or browsing the internet using the public Wi-Fi? But are you aware of the digital snooper? It can be anyone, such as your internet provider peeking at your internet activities, or a cyber criminal attempting to steal your credit card info, or a hacker near you trying to steal your sensitive data. This is where NordVPN comes in. It makes your internet activity private, protects you from accessing dangerous websites, and lets you enjoy your favorite anime content securely and remotely. NordVPN also allows you to overcome internet censorship. All your traffic is routed through a remote server, so you can access websites that are restricted in your country. If you want to watch anime that is only available in Japan and not in your country, then use NordVPN to connect to Japan's server. It's that easy. NordVPN is available on most devices. You can also download NordVPN from the App Store. Use our link to download NordVPN. Get started today to protect yourself.
Anya just shoots him down.
Yeah, she had snarky comments against him, and he's like, "Oh shoot!" And but the thing is, he doesn't know also that Anya's trying to help him and her fake mom. So
that's kind of how the dynamic goes, and that's kind of what makes it funny.
I think what adds to it is that every time Anya thinks about telling the truth, she has this story that, oh, Lloyd's gonna be like, what? You betrayed me? You can do this? Oh, you're no longer my daughter, and all that. It just adds to the comedy aspect.
I mean, it breaks apart, and then she's like, no. Exactly.
I like the idea that because she overthinks, it just controls her in the worst way possible.
Sounds like me, man.
It's great.
Sounds like me.
Was there a favorite moment for you guys, or something that bothered you in the season also?
No.
Go ahead.
Favorite moment.
What?
You're making that face because she got shot in the butt.
Oh, that was my favorite. I screenshotted that to it on my
early in the season.
phone.
I remember, yes.
That is I think that's kind of the opening of what made me happy. Getting shot in the butt.
Yeah, in the butt.
Yeah. And that face.
That face, and Lloyd's like trying to figure out, I was like, what did I do wrong? I'm doing all these good things, and yours like, It was great.
But I got shot in the butt.
おかえり夜さ試着してみます
無理です。座るとお尻が。でも座るとお尻が。お尻が。
All right, you're all right. You did great. Can we get you anything? Do you need anything?
Ice cream. I'd like an ice cream, please.
What flavor?
It doesn't matter. For my ass.
If I remember, Lloyd is the one that's taking her out, like throw out a bunch of dates, right, for your, and then she's just like not having it because
one date. That was the one date, but he had so many dates before. So he's like,
okay.
So the problem is that everything would have been a lot better if she wasn't shot in the butt, like literally.
Yeah, it was really, really like annoying her. She's like, I just can't sit down, please.
and I just loved how Lloyd was like, oh no, at least 800 dates of experience.
Oh, that's right. He had a full like list in his head of all the dates he can do, and it just got trickled down more and more and just shattered.
862.
Thank you. That's the one.
But they couldn't do all 862. It's like impossible.
Well, he did.
Unless well, no, he did it in the span of like a big time frame. No, it's like it couldn't be all done in
I think it was
one
a
day.
plan, and it's actually by his years of experience in the first place. But yes, and what makes it sad is Justin no car ruined most of his plans, which is hilarious. And I think it was funny because it was like Lloyd trying to figure out how to do well and always second guessing himself. But if only he knew that she was just shot in the butt, it would have made more sense.
But that would have rose to suspicion. Like, hey, how did you get shot in the butt? And what happened?
Let's not go into that.
I think it's the situationship of what you're in. Like that moment, you're just like, oh, that's what makes it even more funny. It's like it just cannot be like it cannot come out. So you have to like adapt.
And that's the point.
Yeah.
And the point is precisely that she cannot say it because it unwraps a box of what the hell happened.
Yeah. I think I have to say my favorite was probably the cruise ship arc. It was pretty Eurocentric, but it was very intense too. Like it kept me engaged and everything. And the fights were pretty good.
That is precisely what I like the most of this season as well.
Yeah, if you just cut out all the fillers and just focus on that would have been just season 2. But then that'd be a very short season. It'd be what, like 5 to 7 episodes, just that arc.
Yeah, it would. I would put something from the manga that I will not mention here.
Well, this thing that you have in your back of your head, is this thing you think gonna show up in season 3, or is that not the direction we're going?
I think it would be, and the thing, the thing that I'm waiting for,
or like later half of season 2.
The thing that I'm waiting for might be later half of season 3 or beginning of season 4.
Oh, that's far ahead.
Yeah, because
man, we have a lot to wait.
The thing is that the problem is that the way that I've read it, it was very short-lived, so it might be just slotted into like the next season, and it's just like 2-3 episodes, it's gone.
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna say anything about it.
But does that have to do with the main plot or no?
Yes and no. Okay. Not exactly the main plot, but someone's backstory in particular.
Okay.
It just so happened that you see them in the main plot, and you're like, huh? But you'll get it. You'll get it once you see it. You'll get it.
Oh, really? Wow. Well, that's unfortunate.
Is there anything else you want to add to Leifan?
Yes, there actually is.
Oh.
Now, in terms of your arc, I was very curious about the organization Your works for. I think she called it Garden, right, or something.
Yes, it's the Garden.
Yes,
it's actually called the Garden.
Yeah, I was very curious who this chief is and who like basically runs behind.
Yeah, he was actually pretty good.
Yeah. And the manager, of
I
course,
like
very
the
guy.
chief.
He was very suave
Yeah.
about how he approached everything, but the chief himself, I'm like, he's a bigger mystery, and I'm just curious how they're gonna flesh out his character.
Well, I do hope to see more of him in later season, of course. But you're right, he was very interesting because you just don't know much about him.
It's also what actually gave me a boner.
What?
For you see,
Do it.
we season 1, we only had Lloyd's organization. Having yours organizations, just having a glimpse of what it is it's very cool.
Could we say
So
the same?
expecting. Go on. No, go ahead.
Just really quickly, Tensa. Didn't we meet also Yuri's organization, the secret police in season 1?
Yuri's organization is called it's called the government in this case.
Okay, the government.
It's literally a secret police. I know what you were saying. Don't worry. I don't count him as the main character for a reason. But yes, like for example, because you have two intel organization going at odds, like Lloyd and Yuri's. Yes, 100%. But what I was saying is the other one, a bunch of like the assassins organizations, the underbelly. This is not something you see too often.
Except if you're watching John Wick.
You're goddamn right.
Well, yeah, because John Wick is the entire underbelly, of course.
So that's it.
Yes.
Yeah, so we got a glimpse of the organization, so maybe we'll encounter like more characters of that organization as we proceed through the show.
That's kind of what I want. I do want a little bit more expansion on that, because I will also mention that Operation Strix in and of itself is stale. In and of itself.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that last part. What you said is what?
Operation Strix in and of itself is kind of stale.
Yeah.
Because if you really think about it, it's really just Anya in school trying to do her best and not being a loser.
Well, the ultimate goal for Lloyd is to meet up with Damien's father. Desmond,
yes.
Right?
But the problem is that Lloyd cannot. She has to rely on Anya, and Anya has to literally do her best.
Yeah. And I think that progression right now has been very. Yeah, and that because of that, the progression for that, it's very like slow and just stagnant at this moment.
Exactly.
So I'm hoping we get to see
it's
more
also,
of Anya's progression.
Yes, and it's also the fact that the progression with Anya and it are portrayed as shenanigans, and that's also an issue. Like, I enjoy the shenanigans, make no mistake. However, when we see Anya on screen with the Strix stuff, it always looked like whatever she does doesn't matter to the plotting.
Well, that's an interesting take, though. You could be right. Like maybe her shenanigans is in a different kind of perspective. It's of her showing her progression in her own way. Never really thought of that.
That's fair. That's actually fair.
Leifon, anything else you want to add? There's not much to say. This season was short and not much really happened. We had some odd episodes here and there, and then the cruise arc was the main arc.
The cruise saga was that was baller.
Yeah, it was great fight scenes, great espionage. Great introduction of new characters. Yeah.
All you needed to make this show better is to throw Yor a basketball, and she'd be just balling on these fools.
Well, while I agree with you, Tensa, with the basketball and everything, for sure. But in the case of Anya, I saw her more as a character who was fighting between two extremes and trying to keep the family together. If anything, like there were so many circumstances where she had to like sort of step up.
That is her role.
Yeah, and I found this one really brought it out.
And to be fair, that's true because she has to keep them together without them knowing of each other, which is extremely challenging.
Sounds like a spy.
Fun part.
Well, that's the thing. Oh, I see what you did there.
Of course.
I see what you did there.
I have to say too, like I like the mini adventures of Bond that we saw in the season 2. Like he's getting more closer and familiar to the family.
Yes, I mean he is
Especially-
part of the family, so I kind of
Yeah.
want to see this more too.
Yeah, and then he has like funny interaction between what's it called, Bond, and then the handler, the baby who's pretending to be a babysitter,
Yes.
and then he's using the dog to get it to get with the ladies.
Hey, he tried.
Yeah, I mean I don't know, did it kind of succeed?
Nah,
I thought he had dates planned.
he
Ah.
did not. He did not. It was weird. Like it looked like he could succeed, but I think he messed it up on his own. But hey, it's okay. Better chance next time, right?
Don't count on it. Oh.
No, it's been a running. For him, it's been a running gag. Like he just can't. He can't
That's
land a
that
date.
is that's kind of the why I see shenanigans more often, because I do see a lot of shenanigans. One of the episodes that is less of a shenanigan was a Yuri episode.
Like he was sick. No.
Not in that one. That one was
Oh,
like
okay,
the
then.
episode where he was overworking,
Mm-hmm.
but he was basically, getting spies and stuff, and getting some revolutionaries arrested, and basically making a point of, unlike you, I wouldn't do things that would make my family cry. And like, okay. And he even has a heart of gold. As, yeah, by the way, while you'll be in jail, I'll make sure that your father can live comfortably, like having enough money to live. It's like, wow. So it's like it's something, because it's this weird thing where those two characters had similarities, but they went separate directions at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting episode. You're right.
So, and I enjoyed episodes like that, but obviously, because of the nature of Spy Family, you need to put shenanigans in between. You just need to.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind if you want to do episodes more on characters. Go ahead. Like I want to know more about Yuri, of course. We didn't get that much episodes on Fiona. Like we did see her in the very end tail of the season.
Yeah, Fiona's not
But,
gonna be explored right away. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, well, we just saw that she'd been very busy with missions while Lloyd was on vacation. But she didn't mind it, it's for her Lloydie baby.
And it's better that way, because oh my god, she would be, and people like she'd be like stepping on people's toes, which is funny, but at the same time, like, please, not in this your episode.
There was actually.
All right, guys. Any other? Yeah.
Yeah, there was one other character that it was very, like, I think it was only one episode dedicated to them, but it's something I did notice that with Frankie, I think that's his name, right? The one with the perm, Frankie.
Yeah, Frankie.
Yeah, that's the handler, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the handler.
No.
We talked about
the
it.
The handler's is the woman though. I mean Frankie, like the mechanic with the trinkets and everything, with the glasses.
Yeah, I mean that's what I meant. I call him as the babysitter too, because
okay,
he was watching Bond while
Yes,
they were on vacation.
we're talking about the babysitter being paid.
Yes.
So, yes. The handler is actually the boss. I just realized. Oh,
it's all good. So
I don't even know her name, but you're right. I know what you mean. Yeah.
All right. So, something I noticed about Frankie is that I find he's an interesting parallel to Lloyd. Well, it's maybe it's just something I think, and it's not really based on much evidence or anything. I just found that Frankie is just like the interesting personification of a good work-life balance. Like, unlike Lloyd, who has like this like high stakes of the mission upon him, Frankie is like that guy who's going about doing the mission, but at the same time, it seems like he's managing all right even outside the mission. Versus Lloyd, who's like consistently on it. Now, of course, two very different roles they have. But I see Frankie as the what if, like what Lloyd could have been potentially.
No, Lloyd would have never been like him.
Oh, for sure.
No. Like, I can't spoil you, but there's reasons for that. However, what I will mention
is probably because of his past.
Yeah,
right, Tensa?
It's his backstory that says no. Yeah. The problem is also that Lloyd is prone to overwork a lot. Like his life is the mission, essentially.
True.
While Frankie literally has a life outside of that. That's why I say that now Lloyd would have not been like Frankie, but seeing Lloyd naturally more relaxed is something that I would hope for eventually. But understand that in that kind of show, it will take a bit of time.
Yeah, you can see the progression.
Yeah, I mean,
So I would say that Frankie might be more of a what Lloyd can become to a degree.
well, and
Not what
vice
he can do.
versa, Frankie cannot become Lloyd because I don't think he has that tenacity and skills and
He really doesn't.
intuition. Yeah, that's it. He's lacking in that department. So,
He's also
but you're right.
he also cries like a baby.
Yeah, but that's it. Like they're two different people, but they kind of complement
mesh
each
well.
other. Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I'm saying.
Like as partners, they're perfect. But I cannot see them put themselves in each other's shoes very easily because of the nature of what they do and the nature of how they take their personal lives.
Right. Is there any other thoughts or points you guys want to give out before this episode ends? I don't think there's much more to say. I think I don't know if we could wrap it up here. I think we got more points
I
out,
want
but
more
any
fights.
last
I want
point?
more fights.
You want more fights?
I actually enjoyed the fights there so much, and I actually want more of that.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll get more in season 3, but depends where the story heads. Like,
Yeah, the thing is that this is what the problem with Strix is that the Strix mission makes it very hard to have those fights, but at the very same time, it's like I kind of want Strix to actually involve Lloyd and Yor more if possible.
yeah.
So that
right
way,
now, Operation.
so that way,
You're going.
that way, there's much more of a give and take than entirely having it relying it on Anya.
Well,
And and that's kind of like it's stressful. It's like,
well, Operation Strix
like
supposedly just for Lloyd. It's his mission, even though he's relying on Anya. It's mostly his mission. But I would like for him to incorporate Yor somehow into that mission too. I don't know how that would happen, but it'd be great. And in fact, it could incorporate other characters too, even Yuri somehow. But I don't see that happening. Maybe.
Yeah, except that Yurizo is a nut job. But yes.
Is that so?
And he works for the enemy, so that's it.
I would like the idea that everyone's just like, and it just comes into a big chess game of what the hell's happening.
You never know, it might happen.
Yeah, that's why I'm just being patient.
All right, fair enough. What about you, Leifon?
In terms of I'd say the only last thing I could really think of is like I'm sort of happy that Damien was able to find, I don't know, a bit of confidence in himself again, because the last season we see that his dad comes, he's like, oh, don't keep studying, don't get in my way. And I think his brother says sort of the same thing, don't interfere. And that's a little heartbreaking to see, especially for such a young child. And it's I'd say it really resounds, and just seeing him going on the camping trip, and
it's brutal.
Yeah, for sure. Not camping trip, the camping escapade, as I'll call it. And he really gets, I don't know, to sort of find himself with his friends and stuff. Like, I think at a point he just saw them as tools or just a means to an end, but now he realizes, no, it's not always about that. And so it was refreshing.
Yeah. The way his character is going.
Yeah, that was nice.
I was just gonna say, the way his character is going is like he's not gonna end up like his dad. He'll become his own person, I feel like. But
I think that's the point of Damien in the first place. Because the thing is that if you really think about it, without the character progression, Damien would become like his brother and his father, precisely because they probably lived the exact same kind of childhood. But with him taking him away from the coldness of his own family, there's a lot of chance of him basically growing to be a bit more compassionate.
Yeah, because he's surrounded by other people who can give him more, I don't know, more guidance, more upbringing for sure. And if you notice also, he's becoming
a bond that matters.
Yeah, and if you notice, like he's becoming less of an asshole too, because now we see his feelings for Anya, like he likes her more, and so he kind of defends her sometimes too now. If you notice, so like,
and I think that's hilarious.
Well, it's cute. It's like childhood love, it's like crush. kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes it cute because the length that he's willing, it's adorable.
Yes. All right, I think this should be a good stopping point, unless you guys want to interrupt me for one more thing. But I think we've covered most of our bases. Like I said, there wasn't really much to say in this short season. Like it's went through quick, and
Unfortunately,
yeah.
yeah,
I kind of wish they did more episodes. But then again, I don't know. Maybe this is just first half of season 2. I don't know if anyone heard different. If there's another half, part 2 coming out somewhere, but
not
I don't think so.
as of
Yeah,
now.
yeah, that's it.
And I'm
All
just
right,
as
guys.
done as you are.
Yeah, no problem. Good.
Mhm.
All right, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in. This is the end of the episode 35, the SpyXFamily review of season 2. You can catch us, like I said, you can catch us at all of our podcast platforms. That's Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, Anchor, of course, and we are on most video platform like YouTube and Rumble. Please check us out there on our channel. Like I said, subscribe and like our videos, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.